Hello everybody, happy Friday. Hope you're doing very, very well. And the shirt I'm going to show you today and open up was bought with the intention of replacing a shirt I already owned. But I think in reality, I don't know if it will actually. I kind of bought it under the impression it was going to be something slightly different to what has arrived. I probably should have done a little bit more research, to be honest, but it's still a cool shirt nonetheless. So it's in this box here. Unfortunately, I think that's the only box you're going to see today. It has done a little bit of travelling because it's bought directly from the club store. It's one of those ones where, I mean, you recognise it anyway, just because of who the club is, because it's a major club. But also, if you're interested in football shirts, you'll be familiar with the release that happened not that long ago. So let's just tear into this and see what greets us. So here it is. Well, that should already give you an idea of what we are playing with here. Yes, indeed. Let's get this open. This should be a cool shirt regardless. So, here we go. Come on. Anyway, there is the rear of the shirt. So what you've got there is you have a white body of a shirt. You have a sponsor at the bottom there. On the back of the collar, etc., you've got nothing going on. You do have Serie A patches, so it's definitely an Italian team. But if we bring it round to the front, here we are. So if I get it to look like that, and that is the shirt. So we have the tags. Cool, got a little bit of stuff on there. And you've got this interesting sash running across the front there, of course using their primary colours, which are the sort of the blue and the black, the ones you expect to see on a home shirt, and also in the crest. But you have 4 interesting characters on the front that you don't usually see on one of their shirts. Yes, for those of you, well, of any age really, it seems like you may be familiar with the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles, which, yeah, any generation probably grew up with some version of these 4 guys. I certainly did, more so in the video game and I suppose the cartoon than anything else. Of course, you've got Shield, and then you have on the inside, you have the sort of the St. George's Cross of flag of Milan, and then the actual colours of the club there. So that's it. Let me hang it up, and I suppose I'll explain to you, if you're not quite familiar with what's going on, what this shirt is all about. Okay then, so there is the shirt. Hopefully all the 4 turtle heads are visible. Yes, of course, this is Inter Milan, and this is their away shirt from this season, though not the typical away shirt with the Paramount Pictures logo. It's one of their special releases where they've replaced that with a upcoming release of a film/TV series that they're trying to promote. And of course, this one is the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles, bought directly from the club store. It was £92. I think that also included the patch there, which is usually about £10 on top of that. I'm not sure whether I can't remember if there was postage or if the postage was an addition. I think there probably was some postage, which would have took it to about over 100. So the problem with this one was, I thought possibly that this was going to arrive in a presentation box in the sort of same vein as you would see with these ones up here. And the special thing was it was going to look like a pizza box, which of course, pizza is the food that these guys were famous for eating. Now, there are images of that because I think the players were gifted a version of it. And it's not uncommon for special shirt releases to have presentation boxes for the players, but just not for the fans. And even some places like Footy Headlines, who are, one of the sort of the leaders when it comes to football shirt news, even at the top of their article, they highlighted that it would come with a box, but clearly not, which is a little bit of a shame because it would have looked really, really cool, specifically up here. But all I have is the shirt, which I think is still pretty cool indeed. So this is one of 3 special shirts that they've done with regards to replacing the logo. You had the first one, which was Transformers. For me personally, I'm not really much of a Transformers guy. I like the soundtrack by Linkin Park on the sort of films from the early late 2000s, early 2010s. That's what you would call it. Then the second one, of course, was the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles. They have it on all the home the away in a third. This away shirt is probably the best one because you've got all four guys, whereas on the home and the away you just had one of the turtles. I don't know, that's up to you, I suppose. And then most recently they have a Star Trek shirt, which again, I'm not a Star Wars guy, but you do have the Star Trek one. I think you can actually still buy that one because it's a relatively recent release. So personally, out of the three, I would say Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles. Maybe if there was something else, I would have bought it that really was closer to my interests. But you know, I suppose it's an interesting way of doing it, and it's better than the Paramount logo because that's just a bit simple, and it's certainly better than any betting company there. So when it comes to the club, of course, they come from Milan. We all know Inter Milan are, and they obviously play in Serie A this season. Well, they're champions. They've won the league. They've done very, very well, storming ahead of their cross-city rivals, AC Milan. And yeah, they've lost 2 games, I think, at this point. Very well done to them. Last season, they were, I think, 3rd overall. Obviously, they did get to the Champions League final. So, you know, it's nice to see Milan, or Inter Milan, get a little bit stronger. They've just dropped away a little bit. So, you know, yeah, that's pretty cool, that is. When it comes to titles, their history, from winning the current Scudetto, they've jumped ahead of Milan. They were tied on 19. Now Inter Milan have 20, though they are still quite some way behind Juventus, who of course have the most in the country's history. Now, when it comes to the shirt, of course, it's a Nike manufactured one. It's just the stadium version. There's no player issue version. It's that interesting template where you've got this running across the here. It's okay. It's fine, the design. I quite like it. You've got this obviously interesting little bit of a pixelation going on in the middle there. It was actually worn in a game against Genoa, which they won, which is probably not too unsurprising because obviously they did win the league, so they probably won most matches. But that's kind of it. What the shirt I was going to replace it with was this one, which is actually one of the best shirts released, I would say. I don't know if it'll pick it up with the wrapping on it, but the home shirt with a pinstripe on. Obviously, you've got the Pirelli logo, which, I mean, this is Inter Milan, really, isn't it? I think, honestly, this one's probably still better just because of the design and the fact that you don't see too many of them still floating around brand new with tags. It cost me £57, but in reality now it's probably worth, you know, a little bit more than that, I suppose. So at the very least, I can just say I have 2 Inter Milan shirts, and if anybody asks me if I've got anything special, because it is a limited edition, I can just say, look, I've got this one, I guess. So yeah, there we go. So unfortunately, no pizza box, unless any Inter Milan players are watching this video and don't need their Inter Milan their pizza box and wishes to send it me, contact me. But other than that, I don't think that's ever going to happen. So that's the shirt. I bought this one. I think it was released around about March-ish. They obviously have sold out. So, you know, there's some interest in it. Similar to what Barcelona have been doing with Spotify, of course. But for me, none of the artists that I listen to probably would be going on the Barcelona shirt anyway. So I'll just have to, maybe fingers crossed, one day one will appear. But that's it. Next week, I have, some more shirts to do. Maybe another special shirt I'll throw in there. Let me know what you think about the shirts. Which one would you rather have? Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles, Transformers, Star Trek. I think this is one for me. As always, thank you for watching my videos. I hope you have a great weekend ahead, and I'll see you on Tuesday. Goodbye.